Hi guys, it's me, Denise. I apologize right off for the lighting. It's awful, I know. And I also apologize for my absence. This has been the end of a very, very, very rough week for me. I just wasn't feeling so well this week. I was just really trying to make it through my week. The last time that I talked to you guys, I think, I was cycle day 17 or 18, and I may have been, or either I can't remember. I really can't remember. I think I was cycle day 34 or 33, and I was actually maybe 18 DPO, somewhere in there. And I had never been that late before, and I thought, well, maybe this cycle is it. Maybe this is really it. And a couple of days later, because I was actually planning to test in the next few days, and just a couple of days later, maybe 2 or 3 days later, so I guess it's just the way it is. So I was just so down throughout the week. I had so many other things going along attached with it. Not so much just this cycle, how this cycle went. I just had other things going on in my life, just other personal things that just were downers for me, were just depressing for me. And I tried not to I guess lie around in my mess and just lounge around in it, but I did find it difficult a few days. I think everybody gets that point where they're just, you rock bottom for a second, and it takes a minute to regroup. And I'll be honest, for the first couple of days, nearly half of the week, which is the reason that I didn't come on here, I actually just found myself I was just eating. I knew that I was just trying to make myself feel better, and I know that's something that I should not have done. And I actually had to just regroup and take a few days and just talk to the Lord. I don't know, maybe it would seem as though it's not that serious to somebody else. Especially a person would say, well, you have 2 beautiful children. What's the need for you to have another one? My husband doesn't have any children. There's a desire in me to give my husband children. And especially when you have wasted a lot of your time with, because let me go back. Excuse me, my hair is acting crazy. I was actually engaged before, a few years ago, before I met my husband, and I had not set a date for that. And the reason was that I was actually in an abusive relationship, and I was not saved at that time, and I had had one child for this man already, and I had a son. He's 9 years old now, and my son, I was just so in love with him. I was just so, he just made my morning. He just made my day. It was impossible to be sad around him. It was impossible not to feel joy in his presence. It was just it was just impossible. I mean, I would wake up in the morning and see his face. As soon as I wake up, just see his big fat smile, and it would just lift me. It would really just lift me. And I really, really just lost myself in him. And I tried so much to keep things together for my son. I wanted him to have his own mother and father. And I didn't feel it was fair for me to leave his father at that point. I really, really felt like that anyone deserves a chance. I felt like you should forgive anybody for anything that they do. And I still do. I still do believe in forgiving somebody no matter what they do. I will admit that forgiving is hard. It can be hard, which is probably an understatement, which I find to be an understatement. I had been abused so much to the point that I knew I got to get out of here. I have to leave this situation alone. I have to find my way out of this foolishness, out of this mess. I mean, this is not good for him. This is not helping him. And eventually, and mind you, I think at this point, I was about 17 or 18. So I had my son very young. And actually, the way I had my son, I had no idea how, this may sound, naive, but it's just true. I had no idea how children were born. I had no idea how you get pregnant. I had no idea about anything. I just didn't have any clue about anything. I didn't know anything at all. And that's pretty much how that happened to me. And also, you hear for the first time, oh, you're pretty. And that's why I think it's important to tell children, about the qualities that they have, so that when they hear it for the first time, they don't, make wrong decisions because they've finally heard from somebody that they're pretty or whatever. But anywho, that made me just leave. And when I finally left and I gave up that engagement, and you leave and you go back, and you leave and you go back, and it has to be that final deal breaker for you that makes you say, okay, enough's enough. And that deal breaker for me was when I got my daughter, when I got pregnant with her, and it wasn't a consent like it was with my son. That was enough for me. I felt, I don't have words for how I felt. I remember I just went away inside myself, and I just stared at the ceiling and told myself I was somewhere else, and I was somebody else, and this is not happening to me, so that I could get through the moment. And you know what I did when it was all over? I just got up and I just pretended with him as though nothing ever happened. Just talked to him normal. Just went on about my business, as though nothing was wrong. And the first opportunity that I got to get back home and get away from him, I took it. And I stayed away this time. At that time, I finally stayed away. And it wasn't long. I stayed by myself for a while. And, you would not believe. I had been stomped by this man. I had been, everything you could do to a person had been done to me. And when you spend that much time, wasted time, on an individual, and know that you could have been somewhere else, doing something else with somebody that really loves you, it's just devastating. And I really just want to this is my reason for wanting to, I want to give my husband children, because he's a good man, he's a kind man, he's a patient man. Most of all, he loves the Lord. And that's the reason I want to give my husband some children. I know he'll be a good father. He already is. And I mean, I've wasted so much time on an individual that did not love me, did not care about me. And now that I have married my husband, and my husband has supported me, he has loved me, he has put up with me, and he still does, and I can be irritating at times, but he finds some way to still love me, to still put up with me, to still care. And I mean, my husband is like my best friend, other than Jesus, of course. But he's like my best friend. I can talk to him about just about anything. I don't talk to him about everything, but I can talk to him about just about anything. And he listens and he cares. And I mean, those things are important to me. He's very honest. He never lies to me. Even if it hurts my feelings, he will tell me the truth. But he will tell me the truth in a nice way. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to have such a great support system. So those are my reasons that I want to give my husband children. I just feel like he deserves them. He has earned the actual role father. The other one has not given my children anything, nor do I want anything. It's not saying I wouldn't accept anything for them, because anything that is for them is for them, and I would not turn down anything that will help them. But that individual has not changed yet. I'm still praying and believing. But again, I apologize if this vid was late. I was just so down in the dumps that I just could not. For a few days, I just had to I spent a few days just eating and depressing myself even more. And after that, I spent a few days just talking to the Lord. And even today, I was just talking to him and just asking him to heal the hurt, take the pain away, not being able to conceive and actually hold a child. And I have not actually gone to the doctor and found out what was going on. I know the first time that I had an issue, it was I had cyst on my ovaries. I think it was ovarian cyst, if I'm not mistaken. And I had a lot of them on both of my ovaries. I had more on the left than on the right. And then I went back and everything was okay. But that was after they had put me on some birth control to try and help me get my cycles back, because I was actually not getting a cycle for about 4 to 6 months. Yeah, and then they gave me birth control to try to get my cycles regulated again and get them going again. And then when I got okay after about a month or two, I noticed that my leg was hurting and I was having difficulty walking. I went for a checkup, I think, at a clinic, regular checkup, and they told me that you need to go to the hospital because there is something. We think that that's a blood clot. Things just went worse from there. It just turned from one bad thing to another bad thing, and I was placed in ICU for a while. And I was actually told, Ms. Roundel, you may not live. Death is a possibility. And I just hung on in there, and I believe I'm over that situation. It's only been a few months since a miscarriage. And for some reason, every cycle that this happens, and I think that it's not going to hurt me so much. But, it never works out that way. It's an emotional roller coaster. You're up, you're down. So now I'm back up and running. And all of you who've gotten your BFPs, I'm so happy for you. I can't wait until it's my turn. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.